They won't like me. So, this is a poem that's written from the point of view of I'm giving advice to somebody who's just been born. The title is Advice for the Recently Born, Only So Lately from Their Mother Torn. Once you're born, you desperately stay that way with parental help. They're right there, and boy, do you need them. To get their attention, cry ahem, then they'll rush to your help to avoid another piercing yelp from your suddenly developed lungs that seem to have exploded with growth. Between mother and father, you need both, if given a choice at your young age. But mother's the more accessible one, so concentrate your pleading on her. But to your father say, thank you, sir, when finally he seems to notice you. Be deferential, give him credit. Doesn't his sperm deserve some merit? This world's really got my number. But with curative anesthesia, I'll be number. My attitude toward cops is, keep your nose clean to deprive them of an opportunity to be mean. Don't do anything that looks illegal, even if technically it is so. Give your morality a chance to grow. Take an adult college class in ethics, even though it's difficult with metrics and algebraic formations abstruse that appear to be of no use. Your attitude toward cops should be to shy away, but not conspicuously to arouse suspicion. Be swift-fingered like a magician, and fleet on feet like a stealer of bases, so that cops have no basis to even suspect such an innocent like you. In a store, if you're inclined toward theft, lift something light with no heft to bulge out in your ample pockets. Don't even steal light bulbs from their sockets. Obey Aristotle's book on ethics, but first learn Greek instead. Then, when you retire to bed after a long day out on the street, tell yourself I was discreet, and avoid feeling the pang of guilt. On this I formed a character truly built. May my innocence never begin to wilt. I'm a moral being up to the hilt. If anything's wrong with your life that already meets its quota of strife, then of course remedy it, be an enemy of it, attack relentlessly with full intensity and stamp it off the earth, never again to resume birth. What is this miserable curse that you want to eliminate to resume your old normal state? Insomnia. This poem pauses to review its causes. Just sleep it off? Sleep it off? That's easily said. It's not automatic when you place your head on that infernally restless bed. Well, just try as hard as you can with your fists utterly clenched and your pulse rate eagerly tense. Putting insomnia to sleep is placing its solution in your keep. But if you overtry, you may just weep, pursuing such an alien thing like sleep, lost somewhere in the deep, where time is huddled in a heap. The last line I've envisaged that the bed covers are ruffled, so it makes a heap. How do parents reward us? With spanks. With such punishment, why should we ever give thanks plus obedience for their art of creating us when those two are right now berating us? We baby crowds in a mass endeavor should protest with pickets to sever ourselves from parental tyranny that amounts to a universal conspiracy against our innocent diaper brigade. like Union strikers, which we should go on parade, rattling our rattles to request freedom from the cruel worldwide conspiracy of universal parents controlling us with misery. Notice how we wail and howl as they wheel us around and scowl. Can't we teach them to tell fair from foul? They have the height on us to quell our rebellion with slight fuss. If only in retaliation we bite them, our teeth are too undeveloped to fright them with gums soft like our puffy cheeks, from which, for all our anger, no menace leaks to accompany our innocent tears in roly-poly admission of impotent fears. We're subject to the insinuating leers of the master over the helpless slave. Yet, they complain that they're the ones to slave. Oh, the eternal hypocrisy of the knave. I hope you all don't mind that you're doing all you can, and I shouldn't interfere with your own life. But I can't help it. Giving advice because I've had some experience. I've been around. Now, dear evolution, you got us so far while history doesn't quite mar the excellent head start you gave for rescuing our race from an early grave. Evolution came first, then history, which we're still in the making of, letting vultures fly over our wars, but preparing doves to make restores and politely dissuade animosity's claws. Vultures and doves up above fight it out between hate and love, with the fate of the human race swirling in the air face to face, fur flying to keep up the riot of the pace. Our planet's beautiful, let's not deface, to cast end history into disgrace. Something or other. Comparing yourself with others leads to which? Envy or jealousy? Or to smug satisfaction of pride in which assurance will reside, but also putting others down? Status rivalry prevents potential friendship from ever blooming with its spiteful whip. Love is preferable to hate. Better make someone your mate in the sexual sense or not. Being affable will help a lot to untie comparison's ugly knot. And taking others at their own speed will unpoison yourself of greed, allowing cooperation to wonderfully succeed. Don't compare so much. It disrupts affection's friendly touch. Instead of endeavoring to compete, allow goodwill to reign complete. What values are the most valuable? Social life complicates the incalculable. Some people count more than others as special adornments to your life. Others only aggravate a futility of strife. Let friendship and love always succeed when people between each other are agreed that to happily consider the other person's need promotes in the human race a better breed. On these considerations, don't you happily feed? Well, that sounds like a moral lecture. Yeah. If two people really love each other, then being parted constitutes a tragedy. If their love is contaminated, then being parted can even be a blessing. So what am I confessing? That luckily the first scenario applies to me, minus the tragic parting. We feel like we're just starting. Such good fortune in a romantic vein is infinitely preferable to loving in vain. Happiness in this matter is what I can barely restrain, with no loss yet to modify my gain. So let me rejoice to the top of my voice as if I was given a choice.